Right, hopefully we're live. Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone doing? Apologies for the late stream, the late start to the stream. I was having some really bad technical issues. My camera kept disconnecting for some reason, and I couldn't get my Ethernet over. Is it Ethernet over power? Not PoE. The other way around. I can't get my Ethernet to work in this room, so I'm currently working on Wi-Fi at the moment. Hopefully it has a decent connection, because I only got my new router like 2 hours ago and I'm already starting to have issues with it. Anyways, hope everyone's doing well. I'm just going to take a second to make sure that everything is okay and to announce the stream. And I can't see YouTube chat either. Okay, well, this is a bit awkward. There we go. I've got YouTube chat, kind of. There you go. Hey Thomas, did Brisket eat the router again? Yes, Brisket ate the router. Young and hopefully just the router and not the 55 volt PSU. Yes, we've got 55 volt today. Shout yourselves up in chat so I can see who's with us. I know it's a bit of a weird start to stream, but it's just me catching up with a bunch of stuff really. Nice to see you alive. I am alive. I am alive for the first time in for no. Yeah, it's been a rough few days without internet. Yeah, if you don't know, if you weren't on Patreon where I made the announcement, Brisket, my dog, ate through the phone line to my house, which connected my router to obviously everything else, and it blew the router, and I've had a major issue trying to get my ISP to replace it. So yeah, it's been an issue. Jose Rivera, Scope UK, Thomas, and Yongan, how are you guys doing? Hope you're all well. Thanks for the heads up today. I got one of the 12 volt silers. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about that a little bit later. I just need to make the announcement that we're live on stream, on Discord. Right, give me 2 seconds. Sorry, right, perfect, we're back. Right, all the announcements have been made. So, what are we going to do today? We are going to take a look at my CASA for a second. I have been having some issues, when you're running 48 volt on the ball screws with the motors that we spec for them, obviously you could get bigger motors and it would be less of an issue. Your kind of max feed rate is about 1,000 millimeters a minute, which isn't great, especially if you want to use tools with higher flute counts, so like 3 flute, 4 flute, all that kind of stuff, which is kind of the materials I want to run. I'm also trying to do some plastic at the moment, which requires really high feed rates. So what's been the issue that I've had at the moment, which I'm trying to sort out, is just getting more and more feed. So I hopped on DigiKey and got myself a 55 volt supply. Hopefully that should mean that the top end torque is a little bit better. I don't skip a bunch of steps like I used to. like I had issues with. So that's plan for the day. It's going to be a fairly short stream, mostly because it's been 2 weeks since I streamed anything, and this is kind of an impromptu one, only because my new router arrived today. So yeah, without further ado, let's hop straight back into it. First things first, actually, how's everyone doing? Right? I know it's been a while. I apologize for it. We've also got some news. Right? We got some news. So we got some good news. We got some bad news. Well, not really bad news, but not bad news, not good news. If that makes any sense. Right. So, if you haven't seen the cabinet before, that's the 48-volt supply. The only thing that goes to the 48-volt, the only thing that this supplies is the VMOS on Sila. I'm actually just going to double check to make sure that this is also 5-volt. Yes, that's also a 5-volt one. So this only supplies the motors, and the motors can take up to 60-volt. So we're just going to be, it's going to be a straight replacement. Take the old PSU out, put a new one in. I'm really overexposed today. Why am I so overexposed? I need to go through and reset everything, basically. There's so many things that are all over the place at the moment because of the internet issue. We're not going to be doing a giveaway today, mostly because it's just going to be a smaller stream, but we will be doing a giveaway again next stream and the next few streams after that. So no need for anyone to go ahead and make any timers or anything. Right. And it should just be as easy as that. Right. Oh, as per usual, guys, streams go a lot easier when there are people to interact with. So don't be shy. Speak yourselves up, make your minds known. Hopefully everyone's well. Hopefully everyone's having a good day. Right. So I am going to have to change a bit of the wire routing because on this PSU, all the terminals are just on one side. I know, did I break the giveaway last time? No. You broke the giveaway last time because you won twice in one day. Yeah, you had some extremely good luck on that one. I even had the clock ready so I could take time. Oh no. Right, next time you'll again. I promise you next time you'll be allowed to. I know you love being part of the streams by being my countdown man. Oh. I do need to redesign these a little bit because they're quite stiff. They're quite stiff indeed. Right, that's not going to go anywhere, and now we just need to rewire it. Yay, I can be useful. Yes, Jormungand, you're the most useful person on stream most days. God. You're always the most useful person. Right, I'm gonna do this actually. I'm gonna put that towards that side. No, that's not any better. God, what is up with my lighting today? Why am I so overexposed? Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is. Alexa, accent light on?
The accent light isn't responding.
Why are you not responding?
Please check that the manual switch is turned on and that the device has power and is online.
Why is nothing on this side of the room powered? Oh, that's bad. Alright, just be sure you don't do what I do and turn it on whilst this leads that are live. Okay, that's a little bit better. I can turn this down a little bit now. Yay, I can keep being useful. Yes, exactly. Yes. All right, so I know the power's off. It's normally attached to an Alexa smart switch. I know that's off. I know that's off because there's no light coming through the rear panel and nothing's lit up. So let's get this all sorted. If you're wondering why I'm standing so awkwardly, it's because I'm trying to stand in between a Miley, which is on the floor. So it's a bit of an issue at the moment. If you can't tell, I normally have like half an hour before stream to get everything ready and sort everything out and make sure that I'm in a nice chill position. But today, everything wanted to go wrong, so I'm a bit all over the place. A little bit all over the place. Yeah. So plan is for the stream, we're gonna install this, make sure it's working, run a couple of quick tests, just to make sure that everything's wired up correctly. And then we'll chat about some stuff afterwards. It's gonna be a very chilled stream today. Nothing major is gonna get done. Hey Alan, can't linger as we're about to have staff meeting, but wanted to say hi. No worries, dude. Thanks for stopping by. Thank you for stopping by. We haven't seen a brisket today, have we? Brisket says hi, everyone. Yeah. He has been passed out all day. We took him to the park earlier, and he has a it's not a bull terrier. Why am I thinking bull terrier? A pit bull. That's the one. There's a little pit bull called Yoko that he loves playing with, and he spent the last 2 hours just running about on the field playing with Yoko. So he's had a good day. He has had a good day. Right. Which side's negative? That side's negative. I don't know whether or not I actually prefer the UHP style PSUs. I think I prefer the bigger style ones actually. It's just this is the only 55 volt supply I thought I could find in such short notice. Anthony Muller, how you doing, bud? How are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Right. that should be it, really. Fairly quick turnaround to get this done, this type of thing done. Fairly quick turnaround. So, everybody cross your fingers, cross your toes. Everybody cross your fingers, cross your toes. So I'm about to tell my Alexa to turn CASA on, and hopefully nothing explodes. Alexa, CASA on.
Okay.
Boom. Perfect, right? So the red lights just mean that it's in safe mode. It means that none of the motors are powered and none of the VFD isn't powered. And I just had that set up to start. I'm just waiting for my terminal to set up, and then I can press OK on the DWC side of stuff, and then DWC will turn the lights on proper. I've had a good day. How about you, Jake? I've had a bit stressful day, a tiny bit of a stressful day. Not the greatest day ever, not the worst day ever. Turn the webcam off for now. But yeah, it's been all right. It has been all right. Right. Got a lot of work done. We'll talk about all the work and stuff at the end. Let's get the work, the main bulk of what I want to do out of the way. All right, so I'm in DWC now. I'll move over to the webcam. Right. So I'm in DWC now. There's a bit of dialogue that comes up before you can do anything else on the screen. Perfect. So now everything's powered. The contact has gone off. Everything's working so far. Right. The motors look like they're being powered as well. Awesome. Right. So let's home it. I wish I had a camera that was long enough, but unfortunately the USB cables, when you have a camera that far away from the computer, your USB signal tends to degrade quite badly. I can't get a good enough signal, a good enough view of this angle of the shot. Right, that's worked. And I'm just gonna move the table to the front. Perfect. Right. So that's basically what I wanted to do today. I just wanted to do a quick little stream, make sure that everything was working good, replace the 55 volt supply, and then we're fine, we're good. Right, that's homing well. I so wish I was able to order a CASA kit. How come you can't order a CASA kit? Have you been put on an LDO no-fly list for some reason? Somehow. Right, that looks good. Cool. Right. Oh, okay, so you stop. And then put the panel back on. Watch your fingers, don't touch anything that will electrocute you. It's always a good thing to think about. Perfect. Right, so I don't think I can see anyone selling CASA kits. LDO sells CASA kits. I don't know if 3D Jake bought any, but I know West 3D bought like 30 of them. There was a pre-order on them. Yeah, it's a limited run kit, so you can't you can't just go to LDO and buy them now. You had to pre-order them, and then they would put you on the list of pre-orders, and whoever your reseller was would send it out to you eventually. Basically, it's just so big that they didn't know whether or not they could sell it. They could consistently make it and ship it all the time, and they didn't know how popular it was going to be, so they only did a limited run on them, which is fair enough. It's an easy enough thing to self-source as well. It's not like Milo where it's a million different things. It's literally screws, printed parts, extrusions, panels. It's a really, really simple thing to set up. Okay, so the obligatory warning about Sila at the moment, so that you guys are aware of the situation. It's not a big emergency, safety critical fault that's happened. Effectively, what's happened is that some of the boards have a 12-volt relay on them instead of a 5-volt relay. The circuit is driven at 5 volts anyway, so even if it's got a 12-volt one, it's not going to burn up. It's not going to cause any issues, and there's a good chance that it might still probably work. The worst that can happen with the Sila boards that have the 12-volt relay on them, the worst that can happen is it puts your machine into e-stop. So there's you don't need to worry about it setting your machine on fire. You don't need to worry about it putting your machine into an unsafe state. It's going to be fine in that regard. I'd still like you, if you guys do have a 12-volt relay, do contact BTT. Apparently it was only a very small amount of the boards that actually got the 12-volt ones. Contact BTT and they will replace it for you. It is what it is. This kind of stuff does happen every now and again. CASA is relatively easy to self-source, but still around €700. I self-sourced mine, went pretty well. Yeah, I just cannot spend €700 anytime soon. Yeah, it makes sense. CASA's expensive. CASA is expensive. That's the nice thing about Miley is, because of the way Miley's constructed, you could probably get away with just a table enclosure, or just an enclosure that's much, much smaller. Yeah, it looks simple enough. I didn't know exactly what CASA was before now. Oh yeah, the enclosure is called CASA. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, I never really looked at the bomb. I think you can source the enclosure, just the enclosure, for like 500 quid, probably less if you're willing to cut your own extrusions. Half the price was panels. Yeah, exactly. When do you think the LDO CASA kits are due to ship, if you know? I think it's in the next couple months. It's not far off, because I know that they're basically ready to go, as in they've been, all the parts have been supplied. I think it's just packaging at this point, and finding the time to package it. Because if you didn't know, LDO doesn't have an assembly line. They don't have a Voron assembly line where everyone who is on that team is doing the same thing over and over and over again. They have a team of people who assemble the kits in batches. So 1 week it might be Voron kits, 1 week it might be Milo kits, 1 week it might be CASA kits. So basically they need to find the time for their team to move on to another project. And they can only do that after they finish the current project. So that's just how it works. Some announcements. Is your CASA on a table made from 20 series 4040s? Been trying to figure out the options for what to place it on. Mine is made of a bunch of 2040s and 4040 extrusions. If I had the choice to make it again, I'd probably just make a wooden bench, because this is much more expensive than just a wooden bench would be. Dave's got wooden benches that he made up for his ones. They work absolutely fine. I just need to build an enclosure for my Milo. The chips being everywhere is driving me insane. Cardboard enclosure. Just get a big cardboard box. Multiple different cardboard boxes. They work fine. Yeah, they work absolutely fine. Right. So, some development announcements we can talk about for the rest of the stream. It's just going to be a chatty stream from now on. I've got nothing to work on at the moment. So, V1.6 is on hold for the minute because I need to... Basically, I've got 3 parts I need to finish, and they're all end stop mounts, and I'm not sure how I'm going to do the end stop mounts just yet, so I need to figure that out. So V1.6 might come back either tomorrow or sometime during the next week, so we'll be able to do something with that. I was planning to just build a box of some scrap wood I have lying around. Yeah, that works perfectly. CASA is one of those things where it's like, the only reason we have it is for people who don't want to go through the effort of cutting up a bunch of 2x4s and things like that. It's more expensive, yes, but it's a solution that's ready and made for people, rather than them having to wait around for another solution or make their own one up. CASA's good. CASA's good. But if you can make your own enclosure, make your own enclosure. It's really that simple. So yeah, that's what V1.6 is going to be doing. That's the plans for V1.6. We are going to be making an announcement soon for a new member of the team. I'm not going to say who it is, but he's going to be joining the team, and he's going to be working on a pendant for Milo. Basically, it's not just for Milo, it's for RepRap firmware and MOS as a whole. And he's been sending me some videos of it. I can't wait to make the announcement and show you guys what he's been working on, because it's actually really cool. So you may be looking at a pendant in future, which is going to be awesome because it sucks having to do all the jogging on the screen. Here's a big one. We have finalized the BOM for V2. For V2, Milo, and Miley. The BOM is only going to include mechanical parts. The reason for that, stay with me, the reason for that is because we've decided internally that having different electronics for every different machine is going to be hell to constantly update as we go on, and it's going to be annoying for you guys. So what we've decided is that we're going to have a Milo hardware kit. The Milo hardware kit is going to contain all the extrusions, all the rails, the FMJs, all that stuff, motors and end stops. And then we're also going to have an electronics enclosure. So if you're not running a CASA, if you don't want to run the big enclosure, that's absolutely fine. We're just going to have a box that has some clicky-clack doors that you can open up, and you have all the electronics in there, and you can just mount that on the wall or on the floor or wherever you need it. And that means that we can update that independently of any of anything that we do on the hardware machines. So we can always just add that to Atlas. We can add it to any machine that we want to do in the future. All those nice kinds of things. Makes it easier on us. It also means that if you don't have a Milo and you don't have an Atlas or a CASA, and say you've got a Rat-Rig Stronghold or a Shapeoko that you want to convert, it means that you can buy the electronics separately in that kit and just tack it onto your machine quite easily. So yeah, there's a lot of benefits in that way of doing things. A lot of benefits in that way of doing things. Yeah, so those are all the development updates. Does anyone have any questions so far? Any questions? All right. Ooh. One thing I don't like about the way that we implement the e-stop at the moment is the e-stop is constantly resetting the machine. It uses M999 rather than M112. I think it works better that way. I think it works more consistently that way. But it does mean that the fan tries to turn on all the time. So all I'm hearing right now is it's kind of really annoying. I have a separate macro that just sleeps the machine, it turns the lights off and does all that kind of stuff. I think it's a good decision to split kits. Yeah, exactly. It also means that if you're just looking for the hardware, if you just want to build Milo and not necessarily want to use Sila, if you want to use a Maso controller or a Mark III controller or the FlexiHal, you can buy the hardware kit without having to commit to the electronics. Do you have a file for the tram dial gauge arm you showed in a different 1.6 gene? I mean, this one. Is this the one you're talking about? So you can use the electronics for the upcoming lathe. Yes, yes. Not my lathe. I really want a lathe. Jorgen, lathe? Lathe? Is this something Jake hasn't told us? No, we're not doing a lathe, don't worry. I talked about this before. A lathe for us is it's a weird project for us to take on. I have a lathe that's older than fascist Italy. You've broken me. You've broken me. I like that. Yeah. A lathe is a cool idea for us to do, and we could probably do it. The issue is that lathes are one of those things that are relatively cheap depending on where you are in the world. So buying a mini lathe for like 600, 800 bucks and then converting it to CNC, yes, it would probably be more expensive than anything that we could do, but it would probably be a better bang for buck than what we could do with extrusions and small linear rails and things like that. Actually, even just the length of the arm. Mine is, I think it's 100 mil. I'm pretty sure it's 100 mil. Yeah, it's 100 mil. The thing with these is you want to get the pin on this side as long as possible, because side to side, it's fine. It doesn't get in the way of the spindle, but when you go towards the column, it can get in the way of the spindle. So this pin here should really be longer. It's just the only one I had, so it's the one I used. You got me all worked up, hoping I can get a proper lathe. There is someone who's made a lathe. The issue is, like I said, it wouldn't be performant. The nice thing about Milo is that it makes sense because mills are expensive, even mini mills are expensive. So you can get good enough performance on Milo compared to a cast mini mill that you would have then converted. Because a cast mini mill is like 1,500 and then you have to spend another grand converting it. Whereas Milo is just, well, it's just it. Now I have to actually buy one. Yes. My lathe actually is near the destination bench already. Nice. I want a manual lathe so bad. Don't know what I'd do with it, but I just want a nice old lathe with a DRO. Yeah, yeah. The thing is, DROs are expensive. DROs are really expensive. So in my mind, I go, why would I spend like 400 bucks on a DRO when I can spend 600 bucks and convert it to CNC? And then I have a CNC machine, like a CNC lathe. That's my only thing with DROs. There's the cheapo DROs that you can make with glass scales. Ooh, wait, wrong button. That's the button. You can make cheapo DROs with either glass scales or with these, with calipers, where you just weld the caliper on one end and cut off the actual measuring bits and use it like that. And those work fine for hobby level stuff, but it's a bit janky. You don't even have to weld it. You can probably just tack it on or bolt it on. A lot of people just bolt them on. The only issue with that is all your information is on 3 different points of the machine, so you have to look over you have to look to 3 different places to get your actual coordinate system. Well, 2 different places, I assume. The thing with manual machines is just they're more fun for me. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. The hobby of manual machining is great for that because it's an active role, and that's the hobby. It's the same with 3D printing, where the hobby part is not necessarily the making part. It's the active playing with the printer side of things. And I think that's the same with manual machining. Playing with the manual machine is the fun part. What you make on it isn't necessarily what brings you joy from that activity. For me, because I do development stuff, it's the end product that I like and not necessarily the process. Well, if you want a manual machine, I've got one I want to get rid of. It doesn't even have power feed. CNC is something I like using to get things out of manual. Manual is just cool points. Yeah, I agree with you. CNC is something you use when you need to get stuff done. Manual machining is what you do when you want to enjoy the process of machining. Nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong with that at all. Yeah. Oh, so the pendant that he who shall not be named yet has been working on is really, really cool. It works over, is it ESP Now? I think it's an ESP Now protocol. It's just a USB connection to either I'm pretty sure it goes directly to the board, and it's a touchscreen. So, well, it's a touchscreen with a pendant knob, and he's really early on into the development of it, but he's already managed to get XYZ separate jogging to work. He's already managed to get a UI initiated for probing. He's even looking at putting a calculator into it. So you run the machine and it reads off the feed rate and reads off how, and you can tell the machine, oh, this is a 3 flute and this is the RPM, and it will tell you the chip load that you're currently getting on the pendant, which is really cool. I really like that idea. And there's loads of stuff. There's loads of really cool stuff that he's working on. Loads of really cool stuff he's working on. Inheritance Machining has done irreparable things to my mind. Yes, he's a good guy. He's a really down-to-earth creator. There was a period of time where I know his community wasn't liking him too much when he had his wife on board, it wasn't because his wife was on board, but it was something that happened whilst his content got a bit weird. He shifted his style a lot. He normally has a very storytelling style of content, and he shifted it to a more like, oh, I'm talking to a person style, and no one really liked it. But he's moved back fairly recently to the old style, and I really enjoy his content again. And then I didn't dislike the old content, to be fair. I just like the new one better, the new stuff better. Do you know who I really wish would post more? Winston Moy. I really loved Winston Moy's content. Winston Moy was the kind of first guy who actively put small machining rules into effect. Because everyone obviously uses the feeds and speed calculator, like FS Wizard or this, that, and the next thing. And they work, but they don't always translate well to machines like Milo. Winston Moy was the first one who kind of explained what the little machines need different to the big machines. His channel is something I really enjoy for the way he talks. Yeah, it's really nice. I miss his old drafting table. I hate the fact that he's gone to CAD. I learned a lot. Basically, the only drafting I've ever done is because he taught me how to do it. I don't know how to draft a schematic very well. I'm an engineer. I don't speak machinist a lot of the time, which is bad, I know, and everyone's going to shout at me for thinking like that. Oh, got some Amana tools, and so when I first started with CNC, I bought a couple of these. They're really expensive compared to the ones that we get from like Desktop Machine Shop and LDO and Dranic and all that lot. I do remember these leaving a really good finish when I used them very early on my V1.3. So I ponied up a little bit of cash. I wanted to get the bigger ones, but these were the only ones that I could get. I'm going to put these to the test and see how good they perform versus cheap end mills, versus like the Dranic stuff. So if you guys would like to see a video on that, please let me know. It might be a very short one, but when I was in South Africa, I took a subject in school called EGD. So I think I am proud. A thing I'm proud of is being able to do mechanical drafting. Nice. See, when I went to high school in South Africa. I went to high school in Grahamstown. It's not called Grahamstown anymore. It's called Makanda, I think. I think they changed the name. Yeah. So the only thing I ever did was D&T, design technology. In the UK, they call it DT, which for us was detention. If you had DT, you had detention in South Africa. But we did woodworking and stuff like that, and that's one of the reasons I was a blacksmith very early on. If you didn't know, I used to do a bunch of blacksmithing when I was a kid. I don't do it very much anymore because I have a flat and it's really hard to, keep coal off of everything. Don't ask me how I know. But yeah, I never did anything like that when I was in South Africa. Yeah. So yeah, let me know in chat if you would like to see a comparison between expensive end mills like the Amana Tools ones and the kind of cheapo Dranic DMS ones, because it's a video I would like to make. Design tech in my junior school was woodworking, but the EGD was drafting, which is kind of sad. Yeah. I need to learn to be a machinist more. I know that sounds weird because I'm the one making machines and running the machines, but yeah. I need to learn some more machinist lingo. Need to get to bed. Kids, a long trip tomorrow. Have fun. No worries, Jorgen. Thanks for coming, dude. Thank you as always. Yeah, get some rest. I hope you have a fun trip. Right, I'm probably going to end stream in 5 minutes. If anyone has anything else that they want to say, or any questions that you want me to answer, just let me know. Apologies for this being a kind of short and chaotic stream where we only did one thing, but yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. Hey, Fabreeko, who's with us today? Is it Shami or is it Hector? I'm guessing it's Shami. It's a 50-50 shot. Let's hope I got it right. Shami! Yes, it's Shami. Perfect. I also need to learn more machinist stuff. I regret not taking advantage of a makerspace lathe and mill. Do they have makerspaces in South Africa? I always remember it being really hard to get materials. Maybe it's because I went to boarding school. I always remember it being really hard to get any kind of material for anything in South Africa. Shami fat fingers, try again. No worries, no worries. As a fellow fat fingered person, I understand. Courtesy of my father, I had AutoCAD when I was in school, which works down out miles above everyone else. Yeah. This would have been 2001, 2005. Oh god. I never wanted to live through the early CAD days. There's one makerspace I know of called made in workshop. Nice. There's in Kenya, where my parents live and where I lived for a little bit, there's a machine shop run by a local dude, and he's called Elvis. And the machines are like pre-colonial, not pre-colonial, but very much colonial mills and lathes. So they still work off of leather belts that they get made at the local village, and it's really weird. It's bizarre to work into. So they have a single motor in the whole machine shop that belts to a bunch of shafts in the ceiling, and those shafts spin. And then whenever you need to get power to a machine, you just get a belt, attach it to the shaft in the ceiling, and run it down to whatever machine. If you get your hand stuck in it, you're going to get your hand ripped off, but it's kind of cool to see. There's a plan for separate electronics from the machines for V1.6 and V2. They're going to have the same electronics. So V1.6 is coming, the release for V1.6 is coming after the V2 launch. But if you want to get a head start, the electronics box is going to be released with V2. And the electronics box is going to stay the same between V1.6, V2, Milo and Miley, and Atlas. So if in the future you wanted to upgrade to Atlas, and you wanted to get rid of your hardware for Milo, or if you just didn't use Milo hardware, you can just take that box off and put it on the big machine. I mean, like in V1.5, they are on the bottom. No, it's not on the bottom. We decided against it being on the bottom because A, it adds a bunch of cost and complexity. B, you're actively putting your hands towards the machine to operate it, or to press the E-stop, which we didn't like after much consideration. And there's not enough space. Siler alone, just the Siler board, right? If you try and get it to fit underneath the box, that section, it simply doesn't. It doesn't fit under that electronics box anymore. So I'm Jose from LDO. Oh, cool. There. I just realized my V1.5 yesterday. Aris Makes, how you doing, bud? Thomas showing up with M31, showing off with M31. Yeah, so we want to put the box separate to the machine. Mostly because it's safer. It means we can put more safety features in it, because the way we kill power to Milo V1.5 is safe, but it's not industry standard. We're cutting power completely, whereas the way the safety works on V2 is a lot more complicated, but it's more akin to industry standard. So I'll rip this off. So imagine trying to fit all of this. Oh. Let me actually put you in frame so you can see it. Imagine trying to fit all of this underneath of V1.5. It's impossible, right? I know I've got some extra stuff, like I have the extra 12-volt supply. But yeah, that's pretty much the only thing extra I have in here. I have the extra 12-volt supply in here, but you're trying to condense all of this electronics underneath the machine, and it's not going to be a good thing. It's impossible to do. So that was a big thing we wanted with V2, is we wanted to make V2 more industry standards with its protections. Hence why you have to confirm on in DWC that you actually want the machine to be turned on, not just press the button. So for example, even if under the e-stop now, the machine stays in a safe state at all times. And the only way it comes out of a safe state is I have to press on the screen to get it to start. That's an industry standard thing. It would be, we could just, you know, turn the physical e-stop off and the machine would be in a safe state. We could do that. That's probably good enough in a lot of ways, but it's not the industry standard. So we didn't want it, we wanted to do things properly. And my screen is frozen. Why are you not updating? Hello? Why are you not connected to Milo? There we go. To be honest, I have max 5 hours for real cutting on the machine. It's not really something sure. Fair enough. Yeah, it was tight for me with Sila 24 volt and 48 volt. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And then you had to put a contactor in there as well. If the contactor is thicker than the base of Milo is, of V1.5 is. Why did you zoom out? I really need to turn the AI things off in this camera. It really annoys me. I haven't got a decent part yet, to be honest. I have neglected my poor machine too much. Oh, yeah. I feel like that's a lot of people. A lot of people buy Milo and get it up to like it's just barely cutting, and then leave it for a while, and then they realize, oh, I actually have a project like 3 months down the line that would be really good on a CNC machine. It's weird hearing the Sila pronounced. I thought it was Skylar, Skilla. It depends. Let's see what Mr. Google says. Yeah. So I'm right. It is Sila. Yeah, everyone, no one, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. Pronounce it however you would like to pronounce it. Right, I'm probably going to close off for the day. Thank you guys for coming to this very arbitrary stream. This is more of a test, and I do appreciate you guys. Next stream, we'll probably get started on... There's a good chance we'll actually get started on the electronics box, actually. We'll either do the electronics box or continue with V1.6. Probably V1.6, but there may be a chance of doing the electronics box because I want to get an electronics box done before I commit to... I want to get it done so that I have a prototype version. I know it's all laid out well and in a decent fashion. And then I also want to use that same electronics box on Atlas later in the year. So having it around and doing it now just makes sense. I also need to order my way more stock. Yeah, it's funny how much stock you actually go through. People don't realize it, but you go through a lot of stock really quickly with CNC machines. My machine has been something I use at least once a month, but I haven't had a good part because I was like, maybe it's this, when in fact it was not that. Yeah, I get that. I get that. Are you talking about like tuning? Like tuning the machine? Like maybe it's this thing that I need to fix? Thanks for the stream. Have a nice weekend, everyone. You too, Thomas. You too. Right. Ordering stock in France is really difficult as non-French speaking business person. Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine. Here's a weird thing. I went to a French school before I went to South Africa for boarding school, and my parents don't understand that I've unlearned French. Like, I don't speak French anymore. I was at one stage fluent. I could hold a full conversation. I learned all my classes in French. I did everything in French. But I'm not one of the guys who just learns something and it stays in my head. These things just fade over time. I haven't spoken French properly in years. I still understand French perfectly fine. But my spoken French is terrible right now. I thought it was cam, but it was all tuning. Ah, yeah, there. Right, I'm gonna head off. Thank you guys for coming. I appreciate every time you guys show up for a stream. Again, sorry for it being a bit all over the place. V1.6 next time, or the electronics box, and we'll definitely have a giveaway for the next one. I hope you guys all have a good day, and I'll see you next time.